Welcome back, everyone. We are out in the new hayfield. You can see we got the skid steer out. I'm in the side-by-side, and as you saw by the title of this post, we have GPS guidance in the side-by-side. Now, it is not a new one. It's actually the one that was on the 7000. I made it to where I could take it off and put it other places, such as the combine, or in this case, even the side-by-side. And the reason is actually pretty simple. On our GPS, you can see right here, there is a bunch of markers, and these markers, or what you see in the bottom where it says warning point nearby, those are all stumps that we noticed whenever we were cutting hay. We've got them all marked. Well, not all of them. We're about to mark some more, but you can see one marked right here, and you can see up on the distance, we've actually got a couple of piles from where we got other stumps and debris out. But all these markers that you see everywhere, those are just to show us where these are at. Now we're using the GPS to find all these points and mark them like you just saw, and then we use the skid steer to take them out. The importance is that the big ones, because there were some big ones that we missed, those ones actually aren't that important because the mower, the point of impact on the mower is not very big. It's something like this, right? Well, if you have a small point of impact like this, that's when it starts to damage our equipment. All of these are cut low enough that they're not going to get hit by the blades of the mower, but they are going to catch the shoes of the mower, and that's why we need to fix it. Now, you're going to have a heck of a time on the screen probably being able to see, but if I go in a little closer maybe. So you can see right here behind us, there's one right there, and there's actually one over here to our right. I'm going to hop out with a couple of flags, and we're going to mark them, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now the yellow on the screen, I've been marking where I've driven. That way, because like last night I stopped because it got dark. But I want to make sure that I'm getting all of them, so I'd like to know where I went versus where I stopped. 1, 2. So 2 of these flags ought to do the trick. Here's one of our stumps. Now this is a bigger one, and that one did stick up quite a bit and definitely has to get removed for sure, because that one is a problem. I might have to go back and look at the map. Nope, there it is. So this is our other one, and again, this is a small one, but it's sticking up. And it's, like I said, it's got that small point of impact. So we just want to make sure we address them. Now I'm not going to bore you with us driving around and marking these. So I showed you how we mark them. You get the pretty much the concept behind it. I'll show you a little bit of removing them with the skid steer, and then we'll move on to getting some fertilizer put down. We already seeded this once last year. We put 30 pounds an acre of fescue. We also mixed in some wheat and some turnips. This year, we're doing another 200 pounds of fertilizer again, right? I know we put a lot of fertilizer on this year, but this land needs it because these plants are trying to get going. Putting 200 pounds of fertilizer on with 10 pounds of fescue seed per acre. If we don't, and there's also a half pound of turnips as well, but if we don't do something so that the grass is able, or the seeds rather, are able to get good contact with the soil, I'd have to roll all this again. And yeah, I could, but it doesn't have a very good value to it at this point because rolling into dry ground is the same thing we did last year. And yeah, we had seed soil contact, but it just didn't work out well. So the best way I can show you is, so you can see there's a divot there from the Rotary Hoe. I actually lifted this up. I tried to lift it up right before then, but apparently I still got this little part. But, right, if I move it around like this, you can see that, yeah, the ground is hard, right? I can't quite dig into it. All right, so here you can see a much better example. So this is where the tines have dug into the ground, and you can see that there's a lot of dirt flipped up. Obviously, it's not burying these seeds, and I know that. Let me go on this side so you're not blocked. Now I know that all this loose dirt is not going to bury the seeds. However, my hopes and the intentions behind this is all this loose dirt on top that you see now from the Rotary Hoe will allow the seed to set on there, and then when it gets rain on it, hopefully they basically kind of bond together and stick a little bit. Now, does it matter at the end of the day? Well, it depends. If we get a drenching rain, so just a complete downpour, won't matter. Because at that point, whether the seed was on rock hard ground or on that loose dirt, it's gonna get washed away to an extent. If we get a decent rain that doesn't, say 2 inches an hour, it doesn't come down at a rate of 2 inches an hour, but comes down at say 1/4 inch an hour or 1/2 inch an hour, it's not gonna wash away, and it's gonna have a really good chance of germinating in the spot that it's in, and that helps everything be spread out. Otherwise, whatever it gets washed down to, wherever it pools, that low point, that's where it's all gonna grow, and that doesn't help me. All Alright, we are getting some fertilizer and some seed on the ground now. All the rotary hoeing is done. I'll get the drone up, get you some good video of that at least. Sorry, I kind of slacked on the rotary hoe because I was really just trying to get done. I got a busy week ahead of me and I need to get this all done today. So I do apologize for slacking on the video, but it will be better in future ones. We're spreading seed, but I just wanted to point this out. So yesterday we were trying to get these stumps out, and we got most of them out. However, we popped that one up at about 8:15 at night, and a lot of yellow jackets went after me. Now I don't mind that there's yellow jackets, however I don't want them in my hayfield because I mow with an open station tractor. I have my boy out here collecting bales and stuff for me in a cab, well it's a cab, on the skid steer cab's not closed, so anything can get in there and they can start stinging you, and it just gets really wild really quick. I'm not a very big advocate about, you know, just killing off pests. However, that one's got to go. Whew. I don't see him anymore, but hoping to keep it that way. Obviously you can tell me behind me, the buggy's hooked up. I've been spreading seed and fertilizer now for about an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes or so. And we've got all the big stuff done. So now we're in the middle of the field, all the open area. So I can pop the drone up as well, get you guys some good video. I'll also show you what I'm talking about with the seed to soil contact, on how the rake, or sorry, not the rake, the rotary hoe is really helpful for that, or even a harrow, or you have a disc that you can put the gang straight rather than at an angle. That would help too. Lots of things you can use, but definitely something you want to do if you're overseeding, because you don't want to waste that seed. You don't want it to wash away either. Times like this that being a one-man band is kind of inconvenient, because while I was rotary hoeing, since the rotary hoe is 20 feet wide, this is 25 feet wide, it'd be pretty simple to get going on the rotary hoe and then have somebody else come in, or vice versa. I can run one or the other, have somebody else run the one I'm not running, and really get done in, you know, about 3 hours instead of 6. So, it is what it is. Look at that sunset. It's gorgeous. I tried to show you through the window, but I can't get it to focus because it wants to focus. Oh, now it focused, of course. Look at that gorgeous sunset.